Hello and welcome back to my channel. I have been getting a lot of messages lately and they all kind of say the same thing. Carlo, there's so much information out there. Where do I start? Or what do I do? Can you help me? Well, of course. That's what I do. That's what I'm here for. You deserve the best information on the internet because you're the best for clicking on this video. And I love you, even though we've never met. In this video, I'm gonna give you my top 5 hacks if your goal is to lose weight, build muscle, improve your health, have quality of life and longevity, or all of the above. They're honestly super easy things that you can start incorporating into your life, and it'll yield immediate and noticeable results starting today. And these hacks aren't just for beginners, like literally anyone, no matter where you are in your journey, will benefit from this because sometimes we need a little bit of reminding. Unless you're the perfect human being, then live your best life. These are the exact same tips that I give to all my students and they've all gone to see some amazing results. So you know it works. Before we get started, give this video a like, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to get notified every time I post a new video every week. Number 1, move your body. So I was a full-time athlete for years. I trained with some of the best weightlifters here in Canada, and I own a few records myself. And I'm telling you, if there was something that I would have started a lot sooner because it would have made such a huge difference, was just moving my body more outside of training. And one of the best and easiest ways to do that is just by going for a walk. And your goal should be to get at least 10,000 steps every day or pretty close to it, because it's a big enough goal that it forces you to move your body throughout the day. It sounds so simple, I know, but this was honestly something that I neglected for a long time. I had, and most people are guilty of this, the infamous active couch potato syndrome, where I would work out for an hour and you don't even work out for the entire hour. Then for the rest of the day, I would avoid anything and everything that involved me physically exerting myself. I was basically still living a sedentary lifestyle for most of the day. I mean, that's obviously better than being completely sedentary, but it doesn't make it optimal. Listen, we evolved as human beings to move. Otherwise, you'd be a tree. You would be rooted to the ground. Our Paleolithic ancestors regularly walked for 5 miles every day. They also ate a whole foods diet, and we'll get to that part in a second. What they didn't have was fast food and diet soda back then. And they also didn't suffer from modern Western diseases like diabetes, obesity, cancer, and cardiovascular disease. And walking has so many benefits, like it strengthens your heart, it eases joint pain, it boosts your immune function, it improves your mood, it helps lower stress, it strengthens your bones and muscles. It also almost guarantees to keep you below your maximum aerobic heart rate, where you're mostly burning fatty acids for energy. And if you're trying to lose fat, that's exactly what you want. Walking regularly, and you have to do this obviously when you're younger, reduces your risk of getting dementia by 40%. Walking after a meal also reduces your blood glucose response by 50%. And the faster you can regulate your blood glucose levels, the faster you can start burning fat again. And I recently read some pretty revealing stats about the 1 mile test and how it connects to longevity. And the gold standard here is the 1 mile run. Ideally, you want to get 8 minutes or less for men and 10 minutes or less for women. If you can do that or pretty close to it, then you're good. That means you're in good health, and if you keep doing what you're doing, you're gonna live a long, healthy, and happy life. But one thing that really stood out to me is the minimum. Like, if you can't make it 1 mile of just walking without stopping because you're huffing and puffing and you're out of breath, you have something like a 60% chance of dying within the next 5 years from one of the 4 major killers in North America, which is cancer, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and dementia. All those stats are from the book Keto for Life, by the way, and it's written by one of my favorite authors, Mark Sisson. I always try to bring him up because he's 66 years old and he looks like that. Talk about practicing what you preach. Again, I have some street cred when I say this. Your workouts does not have to be confined within the 4 walls of your gym, especially if your goal is to just lose some weight, maybe have a flat stomach and see your abs, maybe even build some muscle so you can have that tight and toned look and fit better into your clothes. If your goal falls somewhere between those lines, you don't need to go to the gym 5, 6, or even 7 days a week. It's too much. It's honestly overkill. And that could actually start working against you because it leads to overtraining. And one of the side effects of overtraining is chronically elevated cortisol levels, which then leads to massive sugar cravings, among other things. And we'll talk about that more in a second here. That's why I don't even recommend signing up for a gym membership right away. You're honestly way better off just going for a walk every day, getting your 10,000 steps and just starting out with some body weight workouts. If you really want to go to the gym, do a HIIT workout 2 to 3 times per week that lasts anywhere between 10 to 30 minutes. That's it. That's the minimum effective dose of fitness. And I'm gonna link to my Lean Body Blueprint 21-day weight loss challenge if you want a proven plan on how to do this properly. But if you're new, save your money by not signing up for a gym membership right away and spend it on something else that gets you a better ROI. And that's coming up. Just remember this: exercise is all about movement, not counting calories. Number 2, eat your veggies. Listen, there's a lot of debate out there on what the best diet is, and you should check out this video on what I think the best diet is for weight loss and the science behind it. But virtually every single diet will agree on this one concept, whether you're doing paleo, keto, IFYM, zone, and I'm even gonna side with the vegetarians and vegans on this one. Eat your vegetables, unless you're on the carnivore diet. And I'm a big fan of the carnivore diet, by the way. It is the ultimate keto / low carb / elimination diet. It is an unbelievably effective tool when it comes to reversing an autoimmune disease. If you look up any of the big names in the carnivore diet space, and my favorites are Paul Saladino and Sean Baker, they're both unbelievably shredded. But I personally don't have an autoimmune disease, which can be triggered, by the way, by eating certain vegetables. So I eat my veggies, and I eat a lot of them. And my favorites are broccoli, cauliflower, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, avocado, and a little bit of sweet potatoes. So those are all cruciferous vegetables, which are very low in carbs and high in fiber, which is great for weight loss. And ideally, you want to avoid starchy vegetables like corn, peas, and potatoes. And feel free to experiment with different types of vegetables, especially the weird ones. Like, I recently discovered kohlrabi pasta the other day, and it blew my mind. It's also low in carbs and high in fiber, and it was also tasteless, so it was great for pasta. I kind of just sauteed it with some pesto, and it was delicious. Okay, here's a tip within a tip. I kind of mentioned the money part earlier, and this is gonna be different for everyone, obviously. But if you can, try to buy the highest quality food your budget will allow you to do. So when it comes to vegetables, try to buy organic if you can. Here's the rule to save you some money on this. If it comes in a hard shell like avocado, for example, you can just buy the non-organic kind. But if it's exposed to the elements and pesticides like cauliflower, for example, then try to buy organic. I know it's a couple of bucks more, but think of it as an investment. You're investing in yourself, and your health is absolutely worth it. But again, there are levels to this. The higher you get, the better. Like, I wasn't always able to do this when I was just starting out, but now that I've been able to make the necessary adjustments in my life, I'm then able to invest a little bit more money when it comes to the quality of my food. And trust me when I say that you'll taste the difference and you'll feel the difference. You should check out this video if you want to know more on how to eat healthy on a budget. Number 3, skip a meal. If you've been following my channel, then you should be familiar with this topic. And I have tons of videos about this way of eating, but let me just simplify it for you. This is literally one of the best hacks when it comes to health and weight loss, and it's free. This is also one of my all-time favorite questions to ask. What do you think will happen if you don't eat? Like, what do you think will happen if you skipped a meal? What do you think will happen if you take a break from eating? You'll probably, most likely, definitely gonna lose weight. A lot of weight. This is more commonly known as intermittent fasting. The problem is, there is absolutely nothing sexy about it. You can't sell it in the form of a powder or a pill. In fact, companies will lose billions of dollars on this because you're not consuming anything. And we've gone so far to the other side when it comes to the concept of taking a break from eating that it's now considered taboo. Like, if you tell the average person that you're fasting, 9 times out of 10, they'll tell you that you're harming yourself and you're somehow causing irreparable damage to your body without really any evidence to back it up. Nonsense. In fact, you're healing your body when you fast. Look it up. Listen, there is a world of difference in your physiology when you eat 6 meals a day, which is the conventional diet advice out there, versus eating all your food in a 6-hour eating window, for example. The former basically puts you in fat storage mode all day, and your body never gets a chance to burn fat for energy. I mean, why would it? You keep supplying it with energy from food. And the key player here really is the hormone insulin. Basically, every time you eat, your insulin goes up, and high insulin blocks fat burning. So if you have high levels of insulin all day, you can't burn fat. it gets locked away. While the latter, I'm talking about eating in a 6-hour eating window, is a great way to moderate your insulin levels. And if your insulin levels are moderated, that's when your body is able to tap into your almost unlimited fat stores for energy during those 18 hours when you're not eating. This is how fat loss actually works. And you, my friend, have at least 100,000 calories worth of stored energy waiting to be used in your butt, thighs, and belly. It is not just there for looks. That's how I want you to think about this. When you skip breakfast, for example, that's honestly the easiest way to get started with intermittent fasting. All you need to remember is this. It's not about eating less, but less frequently. Number 4, schedule cheat meals or treat meals or whatever you want to call it. This can trip up a lot of people if you don't do it the right way. And I used to be one of them. Every time I had bad food, I would feel really bad. And that has the potential to start this vicious cycle that because you already feel bad, you might as well write off the entire day and see how far you can take this. Whereas if you plan for it, if you're intentional about it, then you're fine. Even if it was an unplanned cheat meal, you're still fine. It's just a small bump on the road. Play the long game here and just move on. The danger really lies when you have a cheat meal and you think you've just ruined everything. Calm down. You didn't. Like, one bad meal won't make you fat, just like one good meal won't magically make you skinny. And just remember that you're one good meal away from being back on track. So chill. And some experts out there want you to swear off treats completely. And honestly, they're not wrong. But I don't know, man. Like, life to me is all about being able to share special moments with your loved ones. And we usually celebrate around food. Like, I don't ever want to feel like I have to deprive myself from that. That's why I'm a big fan of having an optional cheat meal every week. Heck, have 2 sometimes if you really have to. Because the more you tell someone that they can't have something, the more they want it. Human beings are extremely flawed like that. And you should check out this video if you want to know more about my super awesome method on how to keep losing weight after a cheat meal. Number 5, make supportive lifestyle choices. I have separate videos about these topics, but I'm just gonna give you the rapid fire Cole's Notes version. Number 1, alcohol. This is a big one. I have yet to see a randomized controlled clinical trial that shows that alcohol is somehow good for you. It's just not. You are literally poisoning your body just enough when you drink. That's why you get the buzz. Now, I'm not saying that you should never drink. Like, if you can count in one hand the amount of times you got drunk in 1 year, then you're probably fine. But if this is something that regularly happens Friday night, Saturday night, and then you go for brunch mimosas on Sundays, then you're gonna need to reassess your life decisions if you want to lose weight and be healthy. Otherwise, you're gonna run a very high risk of developing something called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, among other nasty things. That's honestly the plain truth about alcohol. I know, it sucks. Pro tip though, stick to hard liquor like tequila and vodka soda, for example, if you are gonna drink, and try not to eat while you're drinking. Avoid sugar drinks and beer especially. They don't call it a beer belly for nothing. Number 2, sleep. Let me make this short and sweet. If you don't get enough quality sleep, none of this is gonna work. There is overwhelming evidence that shows that lack of sleep translates to poor health. And as I learn more about this, quality is actually way more important than quantity. Your goal is to get rid of as much junk light as possible and get 7 hours of quality sleep in a pitch black room every night. Number 3, stress. Stress is another major killer of your weight loss progress. So, acute short-term stress isn't necessarily a bad thing. Exercise is a form of acute short-term stress, for example. It's the good kind of stress. It's the what doesn't kill you make you stronger type of stress. It's chronic stress that you really need to manage because that's when it starts to become an issue. It's when the stress doesn't go away, when you're stressed 24/7. Whether it's stress from work every day, then you go home and you're in an unhappy relationship, maybe you're dealing with some financial problems, or a combination of all those things. Here's a solution for you. If you hate your job, quit. If you're unhappy with your relationship, break up with that person. If your friends make you feel bad, you need new friends. If the weather sucks where you live, move. Here's how I want you to look at this. If the price of something takes away from your happiness, it's too big of a price to pay and it's never worth it. Why? Because your mental and physical health will start to suffer, and that's when people get sick. That's how some people get cancer, from stress. That's why I've been talking a lot recently about the importance of practicing mindfulness and gratitude, because it's one of the best ways to manage your stress, and it's free. There are no downsides to it, just benefits. You just need to carve out a little bit of space for yourself. Okay, wrapping it up here. Like I said earlier, there are levels to this. The higher you get, the better. Aim for the 90-10 rule all the time. I love that rule. 90% of the time, be good. Follow everything to a T. The other 10% of the time, live your best life. Eat ice cream for breakfast if you want, and then you want to rinse and repeat. You're welcome. The next question then becomes, how are you actually supposed to eat if you want to lose weight? Because here's the thing, 80% of your body composition is determined by your diet. You can't just freestyle this part. Do you have a proven plan that you can follow? To help you with that, I want to give you a free copy of my Lean Body Blueprint. This is how I melted all the fat around my stomach without depriving myself of my favorite foods or wasting hours at the gym. It's a simple 4-step process specifically designed for busy professionals, and it's the exact same blueprint that I teach to all my private coaching clients, and they've all gone to see some amazing results. If you want to be the next success story, then download your free copy of the Lean Body Blueprint right now. There's going to be a link somewhere at the top here or in the description box. Just click on it, type in your email, and I'll send it to you right away. All right, that's all I've got. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share it with your friends. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post a new video every week. And hey, leave a comment below if you have any questions about this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. First, a high five.